This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets, which is a study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading my book's commentary on today's lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some further thoughts on the lesson, which are only included in this YouTube edition of my book. Today's lesson is part of a 10-lesson group that runs from lesson 241 through lesson 250, each of which relates to the world as understood in the course. I'll be repeating this same introduction for each of lessons 241 through 250, so you can skip past this introduction in the future if you like. Timestamps taking you directly to today's Workbook Nuggets commentary and my further comments are provided in the description below. In the section entitled What is the World?, which precedes these 10 lessons, we are told that the world is false perception. In other words, it is the illusion we have made and maintain to convince ourselves that we are all separate people inhabiting a world of separate and scarce things. But all is not lost. The introduction also tells us, quote, "As sight was made to lead away from truth, it can be redirected. Sounds become the call for God, and all perception can be given a new purpose by the one whom God appointed Savior to the world." End quote. So the 10-lesson section we are now in helps us to understand why we see the world that we do and how we can escape this illusion for the beautiful reality beyond. Today's lesson from my book and my further thoughts follow. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 247, September 4. Without forgiveness, I will still be blind. We find enlightenment or salvation by changing how we look at and feel about the people around us, particularly those we dislike. It is not easy. The good news is that once you get it, salvation can happen in an instant, a holy instant. The title of today's lesson is, Without Forgiveness, I Will Still Be Blind. Recall that seeing the reality beyond the illusion, seeing from the perspective and with the eyes of Christ, is the aim of the course. And as the lesson title tells us, without forgiveness, you will never achieve such sight. You will remain blind. Fortunately for us, the workbook is one long lesson in forgiveness. It is teaching us to see with the eyes of Christ, rather than with the limited and narrow vision of our ego and physical eyes. The key is to look at your brothers and sisters and see the one self, the Christ within. If all you see are the surface defects, the so-called sins of the illusion, you are seeing from the perspective of your ego, and you will remain blind.